Shalom, shalom. Supermans. OG Obadiah coming to you with another video. Um, as you can see, the man here did a video on him before. And the question was, is he racist or am I just reaching? He done a video today about the debt ceiling. Also about war. I haven't listened to the video in its totality. I think I listened to like about, I want to say 5 minutes of the video, but it's a 19-minute video. He's giving out good information about the things that's going on, the things that will happen if they don't sign on the debt ceiling. It's not looking good for America. It's not looking good for America. But I'm going to let the video play, and I'm going to be back with my thoughts and whatever else. But without further ado, let's get to the video.
Happy mid-morning, guys. All right, so it's Tuesday. You think it's a Friday, but analysis, something that I think I'm pretty good at, putting puzzle pieces together. Now, hopefully a bunch of you guys watched my morning video and I explained what was going on with that. After watching that, a few of you guys made some comments and some other stuff that's come out in the news and the way the calendar reads and things like that all don't look good. I don't care if you say I'm putting my tinfoil hat on here, okay? But this is all starting to really line up quickly, right? I'm not going to rehash what I talked about this morning, because that's certainly something of concern. But let's take a look at what else is going on and try to work it all together. So today's the 23rd of May, Tuesday. We are supposed to hit the debt ceiling on June 1st, which is 9 days away. Does anybody realize that the Senate goes on recess today? Okay, they're taking the rest of this week off through Memorial Day, next Monday. Okay. The House of Representatives is taking recess starting next Tuesday and taking all of next week off. And we got this debt ceiling looming. Now, there's nothing to say that Chuck Schumer can't call back an emergency session of the Senate or Kevin McCarthy can't call back an emergency session of the House. However, it's not like this is Star Trek and we can go, Scotty, beam me up. I'm going to be there. Catching planes from California, Washington, Alaska, Hawaii, pick something, takes a little bit of time to fly back to Washington. So I want you, first off, we're going to start here. First off, understand this. Today, the 23rd, is the deadline for Biden and McCarthy to come up with an agreement for the debt ceiling. No, we don't run out of money till 9 days from now, right? Okay, I want you to look at the calendar on this one. First off, if Biden and McCarthy come up with the debt ceiling, and of course Chuck Schumer agrees too, okay, it will take about 2 days to write up the bill, okay? Whole 9 yards. So if they did it today, that means it would be Thursday before the bill is written. Kevin McCarthy has already said, and guys remember him in his confirmation hearing confirmation votes to be the Speaker of the House. One of the things that those 20 some odd representatives were adamant about was 72 hours to read a bill. Okay, McCarthy has said under no circumstances will he not give members of the House 72 hours to read whatever's written. So if the bill's written and it's presented on Thursday, that would mean Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, again, with everybody out on Memorial Day weekend. Monday, of course, is a holiday. Okay, so that would bring it to Tuesday. Now, you're betting that if they go by calendar business days, not even including the holiday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Monday being the holiday. Let's say they get the vote in on Wednesday. Thursday's the 1st. Today is the deadline. If not today, it better be damn early tomorrow morning. Okay, so there's the first part. What is that going to do to the economy? Okay, this is how we go into this further. Well, let's take a look at what would happen if we do default. And there's more to this than just economics, guys, so bear with me on this, please. If there's any video you watch to the end, watch this one. Okay. If we default, you can certainly see Social Security, Medicare, food stamps, everything like that, miss payments. All right. It's not like you won't get it in arrears, you just won't get it now. The government spends something like $16 billion a day. That's how it averages out in Medicare, Social Security, food stamps, whatever, government programs. Okay. Take $16 billion out of the economy every day. Those people that don't get their Social Security check can't pay their rent. That landowner, the property owner, he's got bills to pay too. So it's a snowball effect. Okay. So first off, $16 billion comes out of the economy every freaking day. Borrowing costs, businesses, you, whatever, gonna soar. Don't have to tell you about mortgage rates that are pushing 7% again. Okay. Friend of mine's daughter was approved for a $225,000 mortgage, okay, for the bank, pre-approval, right? First off, it was next to impossible for her to find something in that price range, okay, even a condo in Knoxville. Second off, the payments would have been somewhere around $2,500 a month. Remember me telling you guys January 1st of 2022, if you're going to buy a house, buy it now because this is what's coming. Bingo, here we are. Okay, you know what would have cost you $1,400 a month last year now cost you $2,500 a month this year for the exact same house. Extrapolate that out over 30 years, and you're paying an extra $360,000 to buy a house now. All in interest. Okay, an extra $360,000 for a $225,000 house. Just telling you. Okay. So yeah, you can forget about the housing market. The housing market gets trashed. Oh, let's talk about the stock market. Moody's says, gee, the stock market will probably crash 20%. Okay. Personally, I think if this happens, it's going to be more. You can imagine that all federal services are going to be shut down. I mean, everybody says, oh, gee, big deal, Grand Canyon shuts down or whatever it would be. Okay. There's a lot more to federal services than just the Parks Department, Department of Transportation, I don't know, highways, you're going to have issues with that, court systems, yeah, things like that, okay? Oops, we got a problem, all right? The dollar will collapse because it's certainly going to lose its prestige, if you will. And I know everybody comes up and says, well, gee, that's exactly what the rest of the world wants, BRICS and all this sort of stuff. Okay? They want to get away from the dollar. They want to have a, whatever you want to call that, communist cartel money, whatever would be, red coin. Yeah, don't count on it. China's economy, in the toilet. They won't tell you this, but China is contracting like crazy. You can tell that by going and looking between the lines on a lot of the economic numbers that are coming out of China. Okay, the Chinese economy is in trouble, and don't think the Russian economy or the Brazilian economy or the South African economy is going to save the world. They ain't exactly running gangbusters at this point either. So you have that point. So the dollar collapses, which causes the rest of the world's currency to collapse. Gee, I don't know, gold and silver happen to be on sale right now, guys. Just telling you. Okay. So that's not going to do any good. But if the dollar collapses, now, what do you have? China, who's our number 2 creditor, remember telling us, wants their money. They need to, Everything I told you a few days ago about China foreclosing on countries, okay? China is going to want their money from the U.S. They aren't going to say, oh, gee, you know what? We understand you're having problems right now. Pay us when you get around to it. It's not like the U.S. government can tell Social Security recipients or the military, we'll pay you soon enough. China's going, no, now we want our money. Okay. Otherwise, there's consequences. Yeah, elections have consequences there, Barry. Okay, we elected this moron. No, we didn't, but okay, you selected this moron. Let me put it a little more accurately. So you get that. All right, so adding those two. I told you this morning about the sat phones deal, communication deal. Then I got some of your comments this morning, a couple of them, okay? Ron Jarman, in case you didn't read the comments in this morning's video, Ron Jarman wrote, my hospital put out a request yesterday in our news center website asking for amateur ham radio operators to reach out to make a new unit to maintain continuity for emergency services. I'm at the Mayo Clinic. They definitely were warned about something. Yeah, I'd say the Mayo Clinic looking for ham radio operators might have a little bit of cause for concern if senators are getting ham radios and suddenly communication is an issue. Oh, you want to throw another one? If I can read this. How about Tabray, right? Read this one. I work for the U.S. Postal Service. Government. Okay. 2 weeks ago, we were given a service talk about sheltering in place. During COVID, during anthrax, right after 9/11, we were told to get to work. No excuses. Even told us they'd have potassium iodide for us to take in the office in the event of radioactive fallout. You think if this doesn't collapse, okay, if Biden doesn't back off from his clean bill and says, we're just going to raise the debt limit, you're going to do it. Okay? You think that might not piss off other people, other countries, other nuclear powers, okay? Other countries that don't like us, like the other 194 in the world, okay, that they may come screaming, yelling, and going, okay, we're taking it from you either in dollars or in blood. Somehow, some way. What's going to happen? Oh, maybe they don't attack Washington, D.C., but let's say they attack an embassy, a military installation, tourists, okay, churches, any sort of religious organization based out of the United States that's overseas, universities. Think about the exposure the U.S. has outside of the borders of the United States. Those are all targets. Okay. Now, what happens if some country decides to kidnap a bunch of missionaries, a bunch of embassy workers? I don't know, Hillary might have something to know about that one. Don't worry about it. What's it matter anyway? What's going to be our response? Thank God Hillary's not president. Not that Joe's got any sort of different plans than Hillary would. Screw it. Hell, I can leave $80 billion worth of military equipment in Afghanistan. What do I care? This is it, guys. Okay? All the pieces of the puzzle are starting to fit together, are starting to fall into place. Today is it. Like I said, maybe tomorrow morning, okay? But everybody's on vacation, and it ain't going to be easy to get them back. Like I said, if it takes a day to get everybody back, all right, and then by the time the bill gets there, and by the time everybody reads it, and by the time they vote on it, we're at the deadline, okay? If the bills aren't paid on the 1st of June, like Janet Yellen keeps telling us, we can't pay the bills on the 1st of June, which personally I find complete bullshit, because the government takes in enough tax revenue every month to pay the interest. They don't take enough tax revenue to pay off food stamps, welfare, Social Security, pay the military, I'll give you that one, okay? But where's Joe's priority? Hey, we'll make sure we pay all the bills for the illegals in the hotels before we pay off the debtors that could nuke us. That's where we are, guys. Okay. If you think the government's coming to help you, that ain't happening either. We're getting to a culmination of everything that we've talked about for years. Do you have your money safe? Is it in a bank? Okay. This goes down. All these stories that people are talking about that you're hearing on some channels and alt media, which the alt media has a tendency to report pretty accurate stuff. Sometimes they're wrong, okay? But what if the government comes up and says, we're putting a restriction on your bank account and you can't take more than $100 out of your bank account every day? Or whatever figure. Do you have cash put away? Okay. Is your cash even going to be good in this scenario? Does anybody want it? If the dollar collapses, what good's your cash? What do you have in an alternate currency? You go back to gold and silver, which is on sale right now. Okay. This is what you need to look at. Start putting it all together. If we don't pay the bills because Joe is too headstrong and arrogant to realize he's got to do what's best for the country and stop worrying about how he's going to jail, okay? And we wind up in a war, whatever the response is. Like I said, they go into, take out an embassy or something like that. Let's say China takes out the U.S. embassy, in Beijing. You think that might not be an international incident? That might cause some serious problems. Okay? Yeah. Look what happens with smaller countries. Oh, I don't know, Afghanistan, Iran, or Iraq. Go back in history, Vietnam, Yemen, Somalia, whatever it would be. Yeah. Now let's play with China, who's got some big boomers. Watch this closely. Have your money put away. Have your preps put away. Have your freedom sticks cleaned, oiled, and polished. Okay? Because not only is that going to cause chaos around the world, that's going to cause chaos in your neighborhood. Because now imagine when all the normies who are out there going, what do you mean I can't take more than $100 out of my account? Screw it. It's okay to steal as long as it's not $950. I'm taking it. Oh, I need gas. I'm going to siphon it out of your car. Oh, I need a car. I'm just going to steal yours. Oh, I need a place to live because rent's too expensive. I'm just taking this house. You think that's not realistic, guys? Wait. That's realistic. That's exactly what's going to happen. All right? All we need is one thing. And communications, pop out communications. This is what I'm saying. Take out the communications in the United States. Everything works on communications. Okay? You can't go to the grocery store. Everything is internet connected. Take out the internet, poof, we're done. You can't get your money out of the bank. Okay? The cash registers at the store don't work. So you're not going to be able to get anything. Take out the communications. Everybody says take out the grid. If all of a sudden one day you wake up and you get a 404 error on every website, we got problems. Okay? If you try to call your granddaughter in the next town over and say, hi, honey, I don't have internet, and the phone goes beep, 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 we got problems. And when they're talking about sat phones and ham radio and sheltering in place and all this sort of stuff, all at the same time, this doesn't happen because it's National Preparedness Month, whenever the hell that is, or some stupid idea there. This is going on because there's something going on. Somebody said on the video, oh, nothing will happen. Oh, the debt ceiling will get passed. Sure, I agree. That's a possibility. We're preppers. Do you prep for, I guarantee this is going to happen? No. You prep because this could happen. right? The people that say, nothing's going to happen, this is all BS, whatever it would be, have their head so far in the sand or up another orifice, they aren't preppers. They're normies. They just pretend to be. I'm sorry. I don't pretend to be anything in my life. Pinball out.
Wow. He said a lot. He said a lot. As he was talking, I was writing down points. He said a lot. Let's get into it, though. He said about the government, taking a break, taking a vacation, as far as the holiday, right? Or their holiday or whatever. That's what I meant to say. But they're gonna be taking a week vacation. So it's doubtful that they're gonna write this bill for the debt ceiling to get passed. So I guess everything can be straight. I'm not all off into politics and studying the economy or whatever. I just watch these stories or whatnot, these videos of the alternative news, and then because he's not the only one who's talking about this. You got other channels that's talking. Is the mainstream media talking about this? I haven't seen anything on the news. You know what I'm saying? CNN, all the main channels or whatnot that distribute the news. By June the 1st is the deadline. I don't know if people was paying attention to this, but this is like a serious thing that's going on. If they don't pay their bills, as he said, and if they can't pay their bills, then it's a lot of things gonna happen. Food stamps, no SSI, no Medicaid. A lot of things is gonna not happen, right? Or you're not gonna get. He got me when he said that they pay $16 billion a day, for these government programs or whatnot. That's a lot of money, and it will have a trickle effect, a domino effect, as he would say, a snowball effect. He spoke about the high prices on the houses and the high prices on the mortgage. He said it was like you was paying like $1,400 the usual mortgage, but now it's like $2,500 a month for your mortgage. And I think he said $160,000 house. Me and my wife was talking about this just the other day, and how you like paying triple, actually for the house. 10 years you actually paying for the interest, and I'm like, wow. And that's like anywhere from 160,000 to 200 and something thousand. Man, yeah, it's a bad time to try to buy the house right now. But he talked about federal services being shut down. I don't know what that means. No federal money to be given to federal programs or federal workers or whatever. It's this sounded a little spooky, ain't it? And a lot of people, just like you said, got their head in the sand. They're not paying attention to this. You know what everybody talking about? What they gonna do this summer? I'm outside this summer. I'm over here this summer. I'm over there this summer. It's like y'all worrying about the wrong thing. And we've talked about this last year, and a lot of people, like, this summer is not gonna really look good for us, economy wise. It's not. The economy is going down the toilet. Inflation is at an all-time high right now. With the food, you see a lot of people talking about, just going to the grocery store, wishing they had a food stamp card and all that stuff. Cause you coming out of, if you pay, money for food right now, you mad. So again, a lot of people talking about what they're gonna be doing this summer. You might not be doing what you say you're gonna do. You need to worry about today, other than, what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be outside this summer and all that stuff. It's gonna look ugly. He talked about the dollar collapse, and we've been talking about the dollar, you know, BRICS, and how they forming alliances with their allies, and, you know, going against the American dollar, dropping the American dollar. You got more countries that's trying to join the BRICS. Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, South Africa, they're already in it. Turkey, Iraq. I think Iraq just joined. You got all these different countries wanting to join the BRICS, and they're leaving the dollar alone. I don't agree with him as far as China economy, you know, being going to shit, or even Russia. Now that I don't, you know, he got to show me a receipt on that. He just said, you know, their economy messed up, you know, going off of America economy, you know, going to shit, right? And then China, they want their money. They don't care about the problems that America got. Fuck you, pay me. And then we know what that's going to lead to America, and what America usually do when, you know, their dollar is being attacked, and the economy is going to shit, and inflation is at an all-time high. War. We going to war. That's what we do around here. We go to war. Right? So this right here, this is something serious. Oh yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention is about the satellite phones that they're giving the 50 Senate, the 50 government employees or whatever, whoever it is. They're talking about giving them satellite phones so they can still keep in communication with each other just in case something happens. And I'm gonna do a video on that, because like 3 different people have been talking about that. Double 7, Lisa Cabrera, and also Full Spectrum. All these alternative news. You're not going to see this on the mainstream media. Now, when everything start going down, then that's when it come on the mainstream media. A lot of good information in this video. You know, he talked about again. You know, over here we chew the meat and spit the bones out. We don't take everything that he say, but he's giving out good information, because it seemed like, you know, he's knowledgeable about the economy and his politics and all that stuff, right? Because it seemed like he pissed off. He don't want America to go down, you know, but he can see Houston, we got a problem. And also, it might be time to...
Listen to me! We got to get out of here, Steiner! Oh, that's crazy!
He got to get out of here, Steiner. So, you know, I just wanted to bring y'all this information and, you know, put a bug in y'all ear. We've been talking about prepare. You know, we can prepare all we want to. But if you're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you might as well just throw that right out the window, because it's not going to matter. The Most High, he's going to protect us. And for him to protect us, protect his people, we got to keep these commandments. We got to turn back to the Most High. And with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. You know, I know if I seen this video, I wouldn't be enjoying it. But I hope the information, you know, will enlighten you to maybe do something. You know, to want to, you know, turn back to the Most High and start following His law, statutes, and commandments. Because, I mean, you know, he's not the only person who's talking about this stuff. And just look it up for yourself, the debt ceiling. Just look it up. Right? But I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh through His Son, Yahweh Shai. This is your man's OG Obadiah. And until the next video, Most High willing, Shalom.